I think the Dale's getting to me. All this dark, all the time. Maybe I made a mistake coming here with Miri, but for now, I have a job to do. After setting out to recover that sled of ingots, we found the missing dwarf. Krellick, acting like a damn kid, nearly buried us all. But honestly, I can't be too upset. He seems like he's seen a lot, none of it good. Now we're right on top of our goal, and all that stands between us and it are a mess of goblins. Let's see how fast they go down on this short quest. Long rest.
And this is now the top of the surprise round that I spoke of. So Krellick, as these goblins are moving into position to... Here, I actually should not have moved them at all to begin with. But as they're starting to prepare themselves for whatever is coming from the north, and their backs are to you, what are you doing?
He just sighs to him like, here we go.
And 55 feet away.
What's your axe? What can your hand axe throw?
60 feet.
Oh, that's not bad. I'd say you could move up your 25 and chuck it at one of them, but that's up to you.
Well, I can move 30. Is this regular terrain or is it difficult because of the snow?
I would say normal terrain at this time.
Okay, cool.
Okay, he's gonna move his 30, and he's going to throw a hand axe.
And nearest one to you is 25 feet, so it would be at disadvantage, but because they are surprised, you have advantage. So go ahead, give me a normal roll. And then Tavini, you're going to be next up.
11.
11 does not hit this little goblin. The hand axe just sort of whistles over its shoulder and it makes a very startled sound as the axe sort of buries itself in the snow beyond it and the others. Anything else that you're doing this turn?
Just gonna hold the shield up, kind of make myself a target.
All right. Tavini, what have you got?
She just kind of like, oh. And she's gonna move up. That's 25 feet. And then she's going to look at this guy right at the back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Back left?
Nice.
Back right.
Oh, you mean sort of the front there. Okay.
Well, back for her.
Back to her, yeah. It's
Back
further away from
for her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Furthest away.
That's
There we
Furthest away of the 6 that are pulling the sled. And what are you doing?
She's just gonna be like, sorry, and cast Sacred Flame.
You're so adorable. I swear.
And that's a dex save from the goblin,
Yes.
I think. Yeah. All right. And Dreamer, you're going to be next up, so be ready. Dex saving throw. Oh, we should be doing that with disadvantage, so we're going to roll this again. Public.
Nice.
So a 9. Go ahead and roll for damage for me.
Kill him.
Kill him.
I will kill him.
7. So immediately, right off the bat, from the flickering darkness, if you want to describe how you cast Sacred Flame to kill the first of these goblins.
With her free hand, she reaches up, touches her holy symbol, and she says, "By the fire of the Allfather," and whoosh, flames like appear on her little hand and flick out, and then there's just this white flame that goes whoosh, onto the goblin.
He immediately falls face first in the snow, and the others who are still kind of trying to figure out what the hell is going on are now directing their attention down at their fallen companion. Any
no.
bonus action?
Nope, she's just gonna hang out.
Nice.
All right, Dreamer, it is now your turn, and Rian, you're gonna be next up.
Sweet.
That was a really good plan, Felgren. I don't think it worked.
No, it did not.
He will stand up with the ball of snow in his hand. He's gonna cast Ice Knife at the center goblin.
All right. Go ahead, roll me that attack roll.
I believe
No!
you are so bad
That
at this.
one!
Oh, come on, man. I
That
can't
one.
touch it.
Well,
Yeah.
at least it still blows up.
So, kind of goes a little wide and beds itself into the side of the cart. And you hear very distinctly as it strikes the load that is currently covered on the back of this sled, the tink of metal. So these are the covered ingots that you guys are after. However, it does explode, so all those goblins are now going to make dexterity saving throws if you want to roll me damage for that.
We're going to ignore the 1d10 damage there for 7
Oh,
damage.
okay. So for 7. Okay.
First one rolls a 1,
Nice.
so he dead.
Oh, nice.
Second one, yeah, they have very low HP. Rolls an 11, so nothing happens to him.
That
Third one,
my DC is 13.
Yeah.
you're right. Well, but this is the dex save, right? Oh, you're right. DC 13. No, so that one does indeed fail. So that one's dead too.
Yes. Ooh, that one made it.
Isn't
The
it?
third one
Isn't it only 5 feet?
meets it, beats it. Oh, you're right. Yeah, so it would only be these two here that die. All right. So the two goblins nearest the heavy load where the knife of ice had embedded itself don't even have time to look surprised as they just get blasted in the face with dozens of ice shards and collapse over backwards.
And I'm gonna drop back down into the snow.
Rian, it is now your turn.
Okie dokie. So, he and Miri are gonna move on up, pull his crossbow, and take a shot at this dude right here. Or are we at... We're not at advantage. Are we at advantage for this?
Yeah, because they are surprised.
Okay. Well, first one was better anyways.
13 does not connect.
Shit. Okay, no problem.
Alrighty, that is now gonna be Felgrin.
Okay.
And then, Krellik, you're gonna be up next.
Okay.
Fun fact, if you guys right-click on the combat tracker tab, it will pop it out for you, so you can like keep it separate while also looking at like the chat log thing, so you can see all the rolls.
Ooh.
You just right-click on that little fist.
So,
Right click on your fist.
Felgrin's gonna push himself to his feet, and start revving up a chaos bolt.
Nice.
But this one, he got a little extra juice in it. So he's gonna kind of take that energy and split it apart into both of his hands and twin it.
Nice twin spell. Fuck yeah.
And he'll be aiming at these goblins over here.
These two?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Hopefully I hit with my first one. That'd be nice. So chaos bolt.
Chaos bolt.
Cast spell. Attack. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it definitely connects.
20. Beautiful.
Alright, so 2d8 plus 1d6. Oh!
Dirty 20. Ooh. 17.
8 and 8.
He exploded.
Hold on. If you roll the same number on both d8s, the chaotic energy leaps from the target to a different creature of your choice within 30
I
feet
can
of
make
it.
another attack. Oh, God. Alright, so I just roll another chaos bolt, I guess, huh?
Yeah. You're rolling 2 more because remember you twinned it, so you have this is your first one, which obliterates that first goblin.
That is awesome.
So,
Alright.
so do I make 2 extra? Is that how it works?
I mean, yeah, it says...
No,
Okay.
so
Jump,
only
right?
one of them is currently
Okay.
twinned.
Okay.
Oh, yes,
So
yes,
this-
yes. I see what you mean.
This
yeah.
would be the first bolt and its twin,
Mhm.
which definitely connects the goblin here, sort of leading on the front right. And then if you want to roll damage for that,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, not as good on that
Okay.
one.
and then roll me the second of the initial chaos bolts that you roll or threw.
Yeah, it was the leap.
Oh, God, okay. Oh,
Nice! 24.
dear Lord.
Hey, rolling rocks, baby. I love it. Blah, blah, blah.
So,
Oh, you feel some incredible power right there, Dreamer.
the first one is thunder damage. The second one, you have a choice between cold and lightning. Which do you
Lightning.
prefer?
Yeah, that's
Lightning.
cool. The arc,
And
the
the-
thunder
Yeah.
in the arc. That's awesome.
And the third one, you have a choice between acid and psychic. What is that one going to be?
Psychic. Just, I imagine it's just,
Psychic.
he saw what happened to his friends, and he's fucking horrified.
And then if you could roll me a 1d100.
This is gonna go fine, Dreamer. Calm down.
Yep. Here we go. Here we go. 44.
44, because I gotta like, we got the whole, there's a big description here coming on. So,
it's so
Felgrin,
much fun.
from the darkness beyond the flickering torchlight, beyond the vision of these goblins, from the direction of the spectral Yeti, question
Mhm.
mark, that had descended upon them, emerges a magical horror.
Oh, shit.
As both a crackling white bolt of energy and a pulsating bolt of violet energy come firing towards the center of these goblins, half of which already lay dead at the front of the sled. As the bolt of yellow energy impacts the goblin nearest you, there is a thunderous explosion that echoes across the tundra into the darkness. And strangely, many of you have been under a thunderstorm. And it is a very strange thing now for lightning to follow thunder when so often it precedes it. But that is exactly what happens, as from the yellow twist of energy that impacts this initial goblin arcs a blue bolt of lightning, frying the lead goblin on the right there. Meanwhile, the pulsating purple bolt that strikes the goblin behind the first one that had been hit, in its illumination, he is briefly able to see what has just happened to his two companions, and standing amidst a pile of corpses, almost seems to have a peaceful moment of acceptance before he tries to hit the ground too late, and you watch as the bolt impacts his face and just leaves it as he topples over backward, a twisted mask of horror. All three of them now lay dead. There is no one defending the rear sled.
Yes. 6 goblins down in a surprise
You s-
round. Good
You
job.
hear Felgrin scream in the distance, "Whoa!" He surprised
And
himself with that
Felgrin,
Yeah.
as the thunderous boom from your spell fades, you feel energized. You feel almost like you're caffeinated. There is something very, very wrong with your body, and you just feel the need to run. What direction are you going?
one. Huh.
Just go on, give me one.
Jenkins.
I guess that way?
Yeah. So, as you feel that urge to move, and you start to move because your body is telling you to, you no longer exist in Dreamer's eyes. You wink out of existence, and an instant later appear 20 feet away in the direction that you had originally intended to go. And you feel this now, almost like a new ability. You know, all of your magic is innate. You can teleport 20 feet as a bonus action for the next minute.
Oh, that's
He
awesome.
just gets the widest shit-eating grin and looks down at his hands.
I think Rian has that, like, Willow moment after Mad Mardigan does his cool fucking thing. He's like, "You are great!"
These guys are fucked.
Oh, you just
That was
became an
fun.
anime character.
He did for a brief moment.
You just leveled up,
The
man.
stars aligned.
We haven't even seen your
That's
final
the
form.
best first twin spell I've ever done in my life.
That is fantastic.
And sorry if that carried on for too long.
Oh, no.
It felt too beautiful.
It was too cool. I would say it's a badass roll. Like, you got those double 8s. That is so cool. 3 kills
So-
in 1 hit at level 3.
Krellick, as just a few feet away, half a dozen goblins have, in a matter of seconds, fallen dead. There is still the matter of whatever is hauling that lead sled. Whatever had walked around the side to the front, and whatever is inside that remaining sled. What are you doing?
Oh shit, they didn't save any for us.
Like, did you see that spell?
What the?
That was amazing.
Suppose we got to go forward. He can move right there. That's as far as he can move.
Alrighty. So, as you move a little closer to the lead sled in the flickering torchlight, the hawk that has sort of been nervously shifting its weight atop the cart gives an ear-piercing shriek of alarm, obviously too late, and goes flapping off into the darkness, startled by all the noise and explosions and confusion that has occurred in this very brief period of time.
Oh man, I loved how random that felt too.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful spell for just random to happen. Tavini, it is now your turn.
She's mildly horrified that they just killed 6 creatures in a matter of seconds. She's a bit freaked out.
Moving to the front there.
Well, that's good.
I forgot about dashing.
Would you like to dash now?
Yes, please.
I will allow
So
it.
dashing through the snow.
What's that, double your movement?
Yep.
Yep.
So additional 25 feet, I think, for you?
And a 2
Yeah.
bear open
On a
sleigh.
1 dwarf open sleigh.
Well, I can do 30, so...
He's g-
You can do 30 as a dwarf?
Yep.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason I thought, I guess it's just
very
halflings at
dangerous
25?
over short distances.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, another little trick.
Natural sprinters.
Yes.
Sprinters.
If you guys are doing your measuring, if you go and measure to where you want to go and then hit spacebar, your character will automatically move there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to know. Now,
Yep.
So, Dreamer, my lad, where are you going? Or if you're going anywhere.
Oh, I'm in the snow, so I have to stand up again. I will come to the edge of the light. Then I suppose I will dash up here.
Alrighty. And you can now, more clearly than you did before, and Krellick can see this too, that there are 2 polar bears at the front of this sled. Both of them harnessed to a very large central pole, obviously meant to haul this lead 10-foot tall sled ahead. They're both very keenly aware of something going on over their shoulders, and both of them are kind of snuffling and growling, twisting in the harness, trying to tear away. One of them trying to get at you, Krellick. The other one, not yet noticing Dreamer, just trying to see what the hell is going on.
those are big bears.
They're iron tough.
Well,
Rian, what are you doing?
Got a chest like a rug. Sorry.
What'd you say?
Got a chest like a rug. I was doing the Big Bear song.
Oh, Big Bear song. He's iron
Big
tough.
Bear, he's iron tough.
I think he is going to... Oh, hey. Should just jumped way over there for some reason. Okay, yeah, he's just going to dash himself and get up next to Krellick. And Miri will do the same with her little flight. That she can do her, well, not flight, but her little glide.
Yeah. Just kind of low to the ground, hopping up, kind of using you to gain a bit of altitude before leaping off.
Yeah, I imagine when I charge, she like runs up my back and kind of leaps off and glides while I sprint underneath her.
Yeah.
And we end up in the same place. And yeah, that's all I can do in the meantime.
Felgrin, what are you doing? Deadly man that you are.
Well, I guess he's gonna...
Bonus action teleport.
Yeah, probably. Just
Charge up and then teleport.
just zip and pop his way up there. What's this guy? What's this guy's story? Is he driving the cart?
Yeah. He just
They've
hasn't had a turn
they've
yet.
not yet had their turn, so
Is he out of sight?
Out of sight, yes. This sort of lead sled is about a 10-foot tall tower, almost, with a single torch above a double door in the back here. And if there's anything inside, it has not yet made itself known.
Yeah.
Foreshadow.
There's a lot more people on the field in the firelight. I think it's like 6 or 7 shadows.
Phil's
Hey,
not, he's not
continue.
convinced that there's nothing in there.
That took me a second.
So
I was like, what do you mean more shadows? Oh,
he's gonna park himself
foreshadows.
over here and keep an eye on those doors. That is what he's going to do. Since he can't target anyone without moving in like melee range, which he's definitely not gonna do because they're fucking polar bears. So yeah, he's basically overwatching those doors at the back.
Gotcha.
Playing XCOM.
Yeah, XCOM, that's right.
There you go.
So, Rian, remember how earlier when Dreamer had first moved closer to the sled, and I had described how there appeared to be very tall, narrow slits, almost windows in either side there?
Well, I choose to reject your reality and replace it with my own. So, no. Yeah, I remember.
Those windows are actually free pancakes for me.
Yeah, except that.
So, through the very, very narrow slit nearest you, you see a goblinoid face poke out, and it starts to level a short bow at you.
Oh, shit.
You could see it preparing to fire. But a very harsh order from the goblin in the lead seems to halt its attempted draw on you.
Oh.
You watch as, with her hands up, a heavily furred female goblin hops down into the snow, kind of anxiously watching the bear as if to make sure it's not going to tear free of the traces, licks her lips, and looking from you to the small dragon at your side and the very heavily armored dwarf beside you.
Little walking fortress.
We no fights. We surrender.
Ah.
You no fight.
Hey everyone, it's Dane from Team Squalor, or you may know me better as Rian Stormlight. In the spirit of community, we'd like to give a highlight to one of our fellow tabletop RPG podcasters, so I hope you enjoy this little snippet from Snyder's Return. We enjoyed their work, so check them out after you finish this episode, and thanks again for listening.
Snyder's Return is a tabletop role-playing podcast featuring interviews and a D&D 5e actual play adventure, so you can learn about different game systems and content creation, while also listening to us disrupt everyday life on the Sword Coast. We release episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on your podcasting platform, so come join us as we improvise, adapt, and overcome.
So you speak common, eh? Well,
She nods.
if you and your folk lay down your weapons, I don't see why, we can't discuss this.
Bad idea.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Well, I mean, I don't think he's attacking. I mean, if an innocent person, not innocent, but, if a creature comes to him and says that they give up, he's,
I think Krellick's gonna holler back at the group to hold fire.
Yep. They're like, hold your fire! They're surrendering!
He'll
Okay.
approach from around the cart.
Have your people lay down their weapons, and we'll let you live.
And she sort of looks over her shoulder, and the goblin inside with the short bow that it had started to draw on you is able to see her through that arrow slit, and they exchange very, very brief words. And she kind of barks at him, and you see that bow, sort of descend below the view of the arrow slit, and you hear faintly it clatter on the floor inside. Dreamer, you can see now that there was a goblin at the arrow slit on your side that similarly lowers its weapon as it was drawing on you.
So I have to ask you, where'd you come about the sled?
Good recovery. The car sled.
Didn't call it a cart.
Yep, you didn't.
The slart.
She kind of hesitates for a moment before giving a very piercing whistle, and from the darkness you hear very faint wing beats as the hawk that had startled and flown off returns and perches on her shoulder. And she kind of gives it a bit of a affectionate tickle with her claws in its feathers, the ones on the breast, and
My bird saw sled. I send team.
and she motions vaguely in the direction of the decimated goblins who had been pulling the sled.
Did that bird also just warn your war party that you were being attacked?
Yeah. We not know their owners so close. Found it after Yeti walk off. Seemed to have feel.
Sherlock's gonna make his way back here and see it, look in the back, see if the oar's back there.
The double doors to the rear of this very tall lead sled. As you go to pull on the handles, they don't open. It's not like a door handle, a knob that you would turn. It appears like the sort that you would pull open, and it is not budging.
So we got it barred from the inside.
Well, we are here to return this cart to its rightful owners.
Sled.
So you'll be turning it over to us.
She purses her lips and kind of narrows her eyes at you and looks from you to the small dragon at your side and to Felgrin and the very heavily armored dwarf.
I am in no position to say otherwise.
Aye, it's wise of you.
So what are the bears doing right now? Have they settled down?
The bears definitely still seem aggravated. They are sort of swaying in the traces, have not stopped growling.
Krellick's gonna try talking in Dwarven to them to calm down. Maybe
Make
they're used
a
to Dwarven commands.
We can hope.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't
We
help
need
but
to
make
think that
a animal handling
Oh,
check.
shit.
yeah,
we need
the
to get
fact that
this-
They were trying to come at you. I'm thinking that these are theirs.
We need to get these sled back somehow, so...
I know. Yeah, I was thinking that too.
18.
As we're pulling it ourselves. Hey, not bad.
18.
Are the ingots not in the back sled?
They are
Yeah,
in the
that's
back
what I
sled. As you are kind of abreast of these two, you could see that the rear sled, very solidly made dwarven craftsmanship, whereas the monstrosity, now that you have a good opportunity to look at it, in front of you just seems to be cobbled together from every scrap of wood plank that these goblins were able to find, into almost like a mini siege tower being hauled by two polar bears. But Krellick, the bears, they don't calm down at your command, but the nearest one towards you ceases its growling and just kind of seems to be watching you warily as it continues to sway in the traces.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're free to take your bears and your little siege tower back home.
How are we gonna get the other sled back?
I mean, we came out here knowing we were gonna have to haul it. I mean, and he kind of like pulls aside a little bit. He's like, I don't feel right like forcing them to give up one of their pets to.
They're goblins.
It doesn't make them, animals.
Look, guys,
They're.
6 goblins were pulling that sled.
But I get out your cart and go. I call it a cart.
So we'll get to that in a moment. Davini, the corpses are in hideous states. Much variety in the ways that they had died. The two in the very back, blasted in the face. You could see melting ice shards sticking out of their skin, especially of their face and throat. The one that you're standing over is the one that had been impacted by the thunderous spell Felgrin cast, and it's just almost caved in his sternum. You can see the depression in the furs. The one behind it, directly across from you, still has that twisted look of horror that it had died on its face. Whereas the lightning one is fried, its eyes bulging out of its head. The one in front of you, Dreamer, is face down in the snow. Very gruesome deaths. And the female goblin, who seems to be kind of the leader of this band, as you are treating the corpses with respect, she's obviously hesitant to trust any of you, but kind of nodding to herself, maybe giving it a little.
You, want our sled?
She asks of Krellick, since he had demanded the others come out, yeah?
No. Tell your others to come out and get the bodies and take them home with you. Put them to rest how you do it.
She starts barking at them in Goblin, and you hear the shifting of wood and a very low curse as the bar is lifted from within, and both goblins hop out of the back, stepping warily around Dreamer, and grab the nearest body and go to heft it into the back of the sled.
While they're doing that, Krellick's gonna go retrieve the body he dropped of the dwarf
Oh, yeah.
and then load it into the cart.
What's the CR of the polar bear?
I don't think that's how it works.
No, I don't either.
I mean, he has seen them.
Oh,
they are a CR2.
Damn it! Okay.
I know, right?
I think Rian, though, would be like, this might seem a little unorthodox, but what do you think about trading for one of them bears to help pull us this cart?
What you trade?
And as you're kind of looking at her and at the two that are currently like together lifting the corpses of their dead and tossing them into the back of the sled, Tavini and Dreamer, you can see into the interior space here, and you're looking at the first level, the upper level. You can see in the front left-hand side of the sled there seems to be a ladder leading up to that second level, but is just lined with bedrolls. Apparently this was kind of like their mobile, almost fortress. But they all look underfed and very miserable in the cold.
Tavini looks up at Dreamer.
Do you have any of the, good berries left?
I should have 5. Yeah, because Tavini, Felgren, Mary, Rian, Krellick. Yeah. Yes, I have 5 good berries left.
Could you give them to the goblins?
Sure. Grab my good berries. Tower over the goblins and just daintily hold out a berry.
Roll me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Aw. There it is.
There it is, the fucking Hulk tacos.
It's so perfect.
It is, it's so perfect. Just... You want
No!
food?
Another net 1.
Oh! And the other was a natural 20.
The hand that you thrust forward with a berry in it,
Goes through
the
the
goblin
goblin's
nearest
head.
to you sort of flinches away, and though he doesn't realizes very quickly that you're not attacking him, he does kind of scurry to the other side of the sled from you.
I think my friend here is trying to offer food. What about if we trade your rations? You look like you guys are a little malnourished here. We could offer you rations if you let us take one of these
What?
bears with us.
Hold on, Rian, if I may.
What?
How are you planning on controlling this bear? It's not a dog. You think you're going to just casually lead it to our cart and tie it to it?
No, I figured they'll lead it to the cart and tie it to it, and then we just have to...
3 goblins are going to force a polar bear onto another cart.
No, I would imagine that these polar bears are their animals. That they can handle them.
What happens when they're gone?
Then we let the polar bear go.
No, what? Okay, fine.
No, I see what you're saying. I get it, but it's a horse. You know, I get that it's a polar bear, but if it's calmed down and we get going the way we're going, it should just go where we want it to go, and then I guess we can make them come with us if that's what you're thinking.
No, I just feel it's wishful thinking to think that this bear is going to listen to us.
If you give me until tomorrow, I can help with that problem.
Well, that's comforting.
I am still holding out a berry.
So, sorry, continue.
And the goblins beside you kind of like haul a third body and toss it roughly into the back, and you see that underneath the bodies and the bedrolls, it's just littered with hay. Kind of seem to have been trying to make it warm for themselves. Yeah, almost kind of nest-like in there. But the nearest one from you kind of eyeballs you suspiciously, and then seems to shout something to their leader in Goblin, and she kind of barks back, and he very gingerly reaches out, snatches the berry, and
That will keep you fed for a day.
plainly does not understand you, but kind of like nods and taps the other next to him on the chest and points to you like, ah.
Oh my god.
The other one approaches you and thrusts out a hand.
Place it.
If you give a goblin a good berry, he'll want a glass of milk.
No thank you from them.
Nice.
No insults either. Both of them just kind of not eyeballing you as suspiciously as they go for the fourth corpse. Because you did just kill six of their buddies.
Did. Yeah, in spectacular fashion.
It was pretty awesome.
This Krellik's gonna dig in his pack and pull out 3 rations.
Oh, sorry, you were saying, Dagny?
Oh no, Dream has already moved away, so she'll just stay here.
Oh, no, I'm here. What do you want
She was
from me?
going to like she watches him walk away, and then he walks back, and she's like,
Can polar bears eat berries?
Bears eat berries. Polar bears should be able to.
Yeah, from your experience, though you have not interacted much with polar bears, Dreamer, you can sustain animals on good berry just the same as you do people. But the female goblin that's been talking to you is just continuing to kind of like, almost like a therapy animal, stroke her hawk.
Oh no.
Looks a little uncertainly at the bear.
Hey, not listen well. To us. Your friend.
And she points to Krellik.
He speak bear.
Well, yes, he does. Special,
It's the next best
very
thing.
special
Pretty
talent.
Krellik not really understanding what that's supposed to mean, but just nods.
He's a bear speaker.
The bear whisperer.
Why don't you try?
And she kind of moves back away from the bear.
You talk to the bear.
And sort of like scrambles up. There are rough handholds on the sides of the cart, and she's very agile as she climbs to the roof 10 feet above and sort of barks to the others from her perch, who immediately head inside, and you hear the bar come down as they close the doors behind them with a coo.
That seems like a good idea. Filgrin will step back a few.
I would have offered the goblin boss a berry as well.
She's up there, kind of like watching expectantly.
Okay, so now here's the thing. I didn't add this. I think you did, Josie.
Uh-huh.
But Miri has the spell Speak with Animal. Now, I don't know if you added that for flavor. I didn't see anything in the actual Dragon Knight handbook, and I know you had said you wanted to make her more like the dragons in the actual, like Dungeons and Dragons.
I did the 3.5 Draconomicon
Oh, okay.
bronze there.
Yeah.
So
now in Dragon Knight, she does not have, there doesn't say anything about her getting any spells or anything like that. But
No.
But it's on my sheet, so I wasn't sure if that was a thing or if I should delete it off or if it's something.
No, you're good.
Okay. But yeah, if it's a thing, then she could talk with the bears. She is pretty persuasive.
Adolescent child in charge of a polar bear.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen Golden Compass?
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't a movie.
No, it's better. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
Polar bears and dragons.
Hey, I like
So
that.
how are you guys proceeding?
Krellik's gonna open up one of his rations and toss it in front of the polar bear.
And it just kind of, as the rations sort of fall in front of it, it immediately kind of starts snuffing and, scoops them up in its mouth. And the other polar bear, you watch as its big head kind of swings towards the one that had been fed, and with a snarl tries to steal its food from it, but the other just kind of scarfs it down.
He's gonna open up one more and throw it to the other one.
Alrighty. And that one, as the treat sort of sails over the head of the one nearest you. Let me see.
Nice. I was thinking that.
Yeah.
I was like, what if the other one just snagged it out of midair?
Yeah, so as your offering sails over the head of the first bear, even in the traces, it has enough give for its head to kind of like snap up and steal the offering out of the air. And the other one just kind of bites into the shoulder of the one nearest you. And they immediately start fighting in the traces across one another, as best as they're able to.
Yeah. I think Rian would come, like, around, like, giving him a wide berth. And, like... I was gonna say, and then chucks food to the first one again. Or the second one. The one that didn't get any food. Trying to... giving up all of our fucking rations to try to...
Yeah.
Fucking take a chance at taming polar bears.
He's just gonna holler, try to get him to stop.
Get me to stop?
No, the bears. They're big
Oh,
bears.
okay, gotcha.
Give me an animal handling check.
Yep.
14.
Krellick the short bear steel forge. I
All
like
right.
it.
So, as you're kind of near the rear of this bear, it has occasionally tried to, like, twist around to take a look at you, but being behind it somewhat and off to its right, it's hard for it to get a bead on you. It is more your tone of authority than the, any sort of natural inclination with wild beasts that has this thing sort of standing down and, again, returning to swaying aggravated in the traces. Rian, the one in front of you, while the other is distracted, very hastily, snaps up the offering and scarfs it down. Looking at them, you can see that the shoulders and the heads of these bears are very heavily scarred. It seems that they fight a lot like this. And, Dreamer, you're very keenly aware of just how solitary the life of a polar bear typically is, and this is not a natural way for them to be living.
Alright, I'm going in.
Nah.
Clan Bear.
Crow's
Yep.
gonna take a step forward.
Krellick of Clan Bear.
Kind of talking to the bear the whole time. Easy, I'll get you away from the other one. It's easy.
That 14 animal handling check. The bear does not attack. It actually seems to be sort of snuffling you curiously as if searching for the source of more food. A very big head almost kind of knocking you around as it...
This is so terrible idea.
He's gonna pull out another ration and go easy and hand it to it.
Are you trying to feed it by hand?
Yep.
Krellick is going to die.
Attaboy. Mauled at worst.
Yeah.
Maul typically means death.
Alright, Krellick, give me a dexterity
Oh,
check.
goodbye.
Yep.
Don't be a natty one. Don't be a
He
natty
doesn't
one.
need
God,
to.
don't
He's
let it
wearing
be
the
bad.
heaviest armor
bill-
known to man.
Ability or saving?
Ability.
Okay, good. Okay, that's not so bad.
6.
Yeah, it ain't great.
It's not great. The 6 ain't great.
No. Luckily, it's
So-
impossible for this thing to hit him.
Yeah, thankfully, your forearm is very heavily armored, as the bear, in its eagerness, and just the sheer size of it, trying to, almost suction that food from your hand, chomps down and you could hear the squealing of teeth on steel. And as it takes the offering and you kind of pull your arm back, you can see that your forearm pauldron now has very obvious, scratch marks from the teeth in the metal. It's kind of like a very pale lines.
I think Krellick's gonna try to intimidate the bear. He's gonna yell at the bear for scratching his armor.
Bap him on the nose.
Alright. So, roll me an intimidation check and we'll use your strength modifier depending on how you do this. Are you yelling or are you like also physically trying to intimidate this
puffing
beast?
up, yelling at it.
Yeah, the
Alright.
dwarf fucking puffs up against a polar bear.
So it's this roll plus 4. So 18.
18.
Nice.
Because we talked about this, how we're for intimidation because you are a very physically imposing dwarf using strength for that. Let's see how the bear does on its wisdom.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
Rolls a
natty
1.
Fucking one.
God.
Oh.
So,
A bear has a +1 wisdom.
What the fuck?
I don't have a +1 wisdom.
so this polar bear, you've been feeding it. It's obviously, if not comfortable with your presence, at least accepting enough not to bite at you. Accidents aside. And as you stand before it, puffing yourself out and shouting at it, it startles, and it would sort of scramble back from you if it were not trapped there. And the sled behind it kind of sways and jerks with the motion, and the female goblin who had climbed atop it almost loses her footing and kind of has to drop into a crouch and grab the side of the roof to keep from falling over.
What are you doing?
Getting my bear.
Nice.
He's gonna grab the bear by one of the straps and try to untie it from the cart.
Okay. It's there's a number of buckles and straps that are securing this bear to that central bar. You, with one hand, are able to work them free. But as soon as it is free, that bear, as it kind of sways and feels that it no longer is being held to the cart, immediately turns with a growl on Dreamer
Krellick's still got
and
a hold.
drops into a very aggressive posture.
Knock it
Hands up.
off.
Nice.
Roll me another intimidation check.
What did you do, Dreamer?
Yeah, in a past life. Oh, God.
9.
Oh my god.
It does not obey,
Tavini's...
and we are back
Oh.
in initiative.
Oh, it's too slow.
Oh.
Just had to.
Oh, it's too
Now we have to
slow.
kill a
Just
polar
had
bear.
to barter
Oh,
with the bear.
Yeah, we're
As this bear, it is much larger than you, Krellick, and much stronger. And your hand
Much
kind of
more
slips
wise.
free from the trace as it goes for the very first person on that side of it that it can see to sort of wreak its vengeance upon for being used as a beast of burden. I'm sorry, Dreamer, you're the nearest person.
and it loves Krellick.
Damn it.
It was a good shot, but a couple good rolls and we would have had a pet bear.
I know. You got a pet. Felgren's got a pet. Why the fuck not Krellick?
Oh boy, he's
I
hitting
mean-
all over the place. Oh my god.
Oh,
God.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Oh dear God.
Oh,
It's
God.
still going?
Stop it.
Oh, God. Dreamer's dead.
I'm sorry.
Dreamer's dead.
This bear,
he's down.
as it tears free of the traces,
Guaranteed it.
immediately launches itself at you to bite Dreamer. And there is the squeal again of metal, and this time of wood, as it chomps down onto your forearm and starts to, like, maul you, shaking its head. And those two claws lash out, dealing a total of 43 points of damage.
Jesus. Yep, Dreamer down. Oh, man.
Before he goes down, he's like, oh no.
And, Tavini, you sort of towards the rear there, hear this going on. Let's see. Or Bear. Hold on, Bear's not done yet. And watch as this thing, now that it no longer has an obstacle in its way, almost just seems to barrel over Dreamer and charge out into the darkness. Krellick, do
No,
you do
God,
anything?
no.
Yes.
God, why? Just let it go. It just killed
No.
Dreamer.
Krellick is angry.
Krellick smash.
So as soon as it passes by and Krellick can swing at it because it had to leave he's gonna whack it.
All right. Here, then it would still be here.
Whack.
Go ahead, make that attack roll.
Critical
Nice
hit.
crit.
Crit. Roll me damage.
Hope you feel good about yourself. Just murdered
A cuddly polar bear.
Traumatized polar
Alright.
Then he's gonna yell at it again.
You have attacked this thing. It is no longer willing. Your hammer strikes it in the shoulder, and the bear roars and turns from Dreamer, looks on you with blazing eyes, and your shout does not seem to reach it in the sudden rage that it seems to find itself in.
Oh, it rages?
So,
They stayed mad.
here it would have been just outside your reach when, So, Tavini, that is now going to be your turn.
Oh, he's gonna
As this thing is sort of standing over your boy.
He's gonna be someone's rug.
She sprints closer and holds out and grabs her holy symbol immediately when she sees Dreamer's down. It is nice. So she's going to hold out her hand and go,
Father, protect him.
and cast Sanctuary on Dreamer.
Nicely done.
Very good. At least it won't fucking continue to maul him.
Are you doing anything else? Or you dash to get over here?
It's 25 feet because I did diagonal.
Okay, yeah. Are you doing anything else for your turn? You've used a bonus action spell, so you still have an action cantrip.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to attack the bear. No, because Dreamer said earlier, don't kill the bear.
It's killing us.
Yeah, at this point, it's...
Yeah, I think that ship sailed, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no calming it down. Then yeah, she's...
Don't suppose you have calm
That'd
emotions.
be nice. I think it works only on humanoids, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, unfortunately she's going to be like, I'm sorry. And then that same flame appears around her hand when she's holding her symbol again, and she does Sacred Flame on the bear. Sorry.
And that's a saving throw from it?
Yep, Dex.
Yep, dexterity.
Hopefully it's bad.
Alrighty. And as a general reminder... Oh, that's a 3, it fails if you want to roll damage. Knocking creatures out is also always an option.
True.
I don't know if
Oh,
she
that's
can
a good
do
call.
non-lethal with Sacred Flame.
I'm not saying to do that, I'm saying, just as a general reminder.
And what did you get? A -4 to attack? Is that what it is to try to do non-lethal?
No,
Or
that
it's
would be
disadvantage?
3.5.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just your rare... Yeah. Melee attacks are what are used to knock something out.
Gotcha.
So, if you'd like to, roll for damage. Alrighty. So that's your action, your bonus action, and your move. Dreamer.
No!
Oof.
That's a nat 1.
Natty 1 on the death save.
Yeah.
That's 2?
That's 2
A one.
failures.
That's 2 failures.
He'll be
All right.
alright.
Yep. We just have to murder this
Rian.
thing in the next turn.
Well,
What are you doing? As the other bear is now originally confused, now seeming to try and snap at you and kind of pulling the sled forward by inches without the other one to help it.
I think Rian, not realizing what he's doing, his hand instinctually goes to his component pouch, and he pulls from it the branch that was struck by lightning that he bought from the curio shop in Arlsberg, and as he points it towards the bear, he first yells out, he's like, "Dreamer!" And then, in a tongue he's not even familiar with, the words come out of Shakraus Yilg, and he casts Wish Bolt towards the bear.
Alrighty. Give us that attack on it.
Oh shit,
Oh,
Natty
no!
1, god damn it!
Oh, that would have been such a cool moment.
It's gonna be
Alright,
cool,
so
too.
what color is it at least?
It's a blue. It's
Alright.
it's a like crackling lightning of blue fires from the branch.
you're
But-
a fledgling sorcerer. These things are bound to happen.
Oh,
It does suck though.
So it's
It
almost
sucks.
like You guys have seen, you know, those balls that you can get at like Spencer's gift shop, where it has that electricity going on inside, and you touch it, and all the electric nodes just kind of collect at your finger, and it feels a little tingly, but it doesn't really do any harm to you. Rian, there is magic there. There is indeed that feeling of power just outside of reach, and you're not quite able to get there as a spark alights at the end of the branch, and just kind of illuminates the area around you very briefly before guttering out. But you hear Miri from where she is. You almost did it.
Like, I almost did what?
And she kind of like, you see her distantly around the edges of the cart there, kind of open her mouth, and you see a little blue spark, a little light, just like your own, arcing between her teeth. This very obviously failed attempt to breathe lightning.
I think that's actually perfect, because in the same instant, I think she's going to run forward with that and go to bite at the, not going to say claw, but she's going to try to bite at the bear. But I'm adding the bite feature, which if it lands, I can do a 1d8 of lightning damage to it also.
Yep. If you want to make that attack roll.
Ah, shit.
A 10, unfortunately, her little teeth are having a hard time finding purchase in this bear's very thick hide. She comes away with a mouthful of fur. And she...
Oh, man.
That's alright. Because it is the mighty Felgrin's turn next. Felgrin the Magnificent.
Oh, his favorite favorite song. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
No, but as he's falling back, he's going to yell, 5 gold to each goblin that fills this with arrows.
Oh.
And then he's going to summon up a magic missile at 2nd level and level it into this bear.
Alright. So anyway, I started blasting.
Anyway, I started blasting. Okay. 2nd level. 44 plus 4, 20. That's max damage.
That is max damage.
Rolling rocks
That is
rocks tonight.
Awesome. Hells yeah.
Alrighty. What do a wild magic sorcerer's magic missiles look like?
They are just every single color at the same time. It's like they're like prisms.
So white?
That, as they move through the air, they just change color depending on how the light hits it.
And it is very strange because as they fly over the snow and they're just kind of illuminating it, like, all of them impact the bear and it howls in anguish. That big head being thrown back, rearing onto its hind legs, as if to prepare to strike and lash out at whatever had just struck it.
Thank God I'm far away. That thing would straight up murder me.
And the female goblin atop the cart, kind of looks at you, Felgrin, and you hear her barking a command in Goblin, and you hear from within a very faint response. She reaches over her shoulder and takes a javelin from a sleeve on her back.
Mercenaries.
Is fantastic.
And you see her hold out her left hand in a sort of L shape and close one eye as she kind of readies her javelin and is gonna huck it at the at the bear.
That is true, technically.
Arrow doesn't. I said arrow. Oh.
13.
Yeah,
we connect.
Bear AC has to be low, right? If it lit.
Yeah, it is fairly low.
Low dex, high HP.
Oh, super high damage though.
Alright, so the javelin embeds itself in the standing bear's cheek, and just as quickly just kind of seems to, embed itself in the cheek and then immediately falls out into the snow. Miri actually has to dodge it as it falls beside her there. And she looks at you, Felgren, and holds up 5 claws. Thankfully, the goblins in the cart, they both move to the arrow slits and are going to also try to strike the bear, though this time with short bows.
Nice.
20 connects, 9
it doesn't.
does not.
Nice.
7 points of piercing damage.
Almost max damage.
Okay, so that's 10 gold.
So-
One of them didn't hit.
The nearest one to the bear, you see almost his arms kind of like sticking the short bow out of the slit, but it isn't able to fit through, so it's really just kind of pressed against it. And you hear some goblinoid cursing as the arrow flies loose, and as the bear is rearing, the arrow embeds itself in its throat. And the big beast kind of sways on its feet, now gurgling in its attempted roars. And as it tries to bite you, Krellick, and take some swipes, it tips forward, and I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Nice.
Dexterity. Gotta love
You
it.
deserve this.
20.
Oh, 20!
You're able to step back out of the way as this bear tips forward into the snow, dead.
Damn it.
And the battlefield is quiet once
Tavini,
again.
Oh.
tell me you can do something for him.
Yeah.
Tavini just like immediately she
He's gonna crowd around.
quickly like waddles over in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Brian
she
runs over
will.
and be like, oh, Dreamer, oh, jeez.
Yes, I have it prepared. I was just checking like, do I have it prepared? And she touches Dreamer because she's not sure if this is going to work, but she's going to try anyway.
Please let this work. Father of the Forge, heal this one.
Nice.
Alrighty. And as you lay your hand upon Dreamer and cast Cure Wounds, normally you've seen this work on people, where, the wound kind of pulls itself together and starts to knit. In this case, the claw marks, the rents, and the tears and the chunks that have been torn out of Dreamer, the pieces that have sort of fallen into the snow around him, they start to rattle a little and roll across the snow and up his chest and up his forearm and seem to slot back into place, repairing him some.
Tavini is watching absolutely fascinated.
The wooden bits seem to be aided along much more than the metal bits, as the wood almost turns green where it has been rent and starts to kind of grow back. Dreamer, you are gain 6 hit points.
Be like, oh, I think you did something for him there. Dreamer, are you alright?
His eyes will flicker on and his chest will move, but no air moves. And he just lays there in the snow, like blinks a couple times.
I think Brian will just let out a big sigh of relief. Oh, jeez. Oh, God. Oh, thank God. Thank God you're alright.
Am I under a polar bear right now?
You are under its rear left leg. Like it's sort of pinned your legs underneath its own.
Felgren's gonna move.
Would Sanctuary have protected him from damage, or is that because?
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah, it
Sanctuary
just
doesn't.
fell on
It protects him from taking direct attacks. It did fall on him though.
Yeah, but I think I would be like, someone pull him out of there, and I'd rock the bear's body away from him.
Miri is joining you. She's like got her foreclaws in around one of Dreamer's fingers and is trying to pull him backwards.
Savini's trying to help pull Dreamer out
Sort of.
Pulling Dreamer.
He's just sort of limp right now.
Yeah, so Tavini's just like this 2 foot, 3 foot little Tavini is trying to pull him free.
8-foot bunch.
Yeah, 2 foot, sorry.
Miri and Tavini have both like got Dreamer's hand covered, just trying to pull together.
Okay, but I remember what happened last time I pulled on somebody. I'm just gonna grab and pull too.
Okay. And working together, you are able to pull Dreamer out from under this massive polar bear.
Oh. Yeah, me and Green will just look at the polar bear and just feel bad for the fact that we had to kill
Felgren's
it.
gonna move over to the cart, but as he's walking, he gives a glare towards Krellick.
Oh, glare your ass.
You are a fool!
You're a fool.
Yeah, tell that
Got
to
him.
Dreamer since he almost died. And then he turns the corner.
Didn't see you coming up with any better ideas.
He ignores it.
Tavini's
Yeah,
Tavini's
that's
just
right.
gonna like pick up any pieces of Dreamer, like anything that's left on the snar.
He's gonna just pat the bear. Oh, what's left of it?
He's gonna wrap his knuckles on the doors.
The door creaks open, and the goblin nearest you, the one who had missed, holds out a clawed
He's
hand,
gonna tut and shake his head.
kind of purses its lips, and the other scrambles over to the door and kind of like shoves a hand in its face to push it out of the way.
Nice.
And with a broad, toothy grin, is nodding as it holds its clawed
1,
hand
2,
out to
3,
you.
4, 5. Drops them into his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of looks at you, looks out the window towards the dead bear and Dreamer, and doesn't say a word to you, but hops down out past you and kind of starts trudging through the snow towards the party. Still, like, hand outstretched with gold in his claw.
Oh my god. Our deal ends now, by the way. No more filling the corpse with arrows.
He just starts stabbing arrows into it.
Uh,
Hold his hand out.
You do watch as the goblin, as it had gotten closer, had reached for some arrows in its quiver and was starting to jab them into the bear, but a very sharp word from the goblin atop the cart, and it stops.
he'll hand out 5 to her. And you know what? He'll even flick a silver coin to the one that missed. For your effort.
Yeah. Told you they couldn't, told you they were hard to control.
You weren't lying.
Hey.
It's best that you and your companions and your other creature be along now.
We, the other bear should be enough to pull this.
And at least that one to give you hide and meat.
We can't take the corpse, so it's yours to do with as you wish.
You want the other bear?
No, keep it.
And the goblin that had sort of wandered over to the party is looking disappointed that the 2 arrows that it's jabbed into the rear flank of the bear have not seemed to have earned it any more gold. But kind of looks at Dreamer, and seeing his sorry state, passes him over a single gold coin that it sort of rests in his lap, and then points to its mouth, like its open mouth, and kind of nods.
Yeah.
Amazing.
This entire time, Dreamer has sat up and has just been like absent-mindedly like petting the bear corpse. And when he has a gold coin in his, he'll put it in his mouth. It's not going anywhere. It's just going in his mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goblin seems satisfied that you have at least, accepted the returned gift of something edible in his estimation, and just starts wandering back towards the cart.
Yeah, he's made out of metal.
Spit it back out.
Garlic's gonna help load these last 3 bodies. Get them out of the way.
Alrighty. And Dagny, I heard you say something there, sorry.
Oh, she picked up
you're-
Dreamer pieces.
There's a couple of
Dreamer
them.
shavings.
Yep.
Probably from his armor, the metal pieces.
Yeah.
Remnants. Which is
Yeah,
good. You wanna get rid of them
chiefly
all.
seems to be armor. The wood seems to have started to knit itself back together under your spell, but he does look still in bad shape.
Thank you, Tavini.
Yes. It is, does it, hurt?
A lot.
Oh.
Well, take a load off in the cart. We'll manage for a while without you.
Yes. Yeah, rest up.
I
Not
can,
too long, mind you.
I can do something to help, but, I need, well, actually,
And then she like touches her symbol again, and then reaches out and touches Dreamer.
Mother
He will-
of the Forge.
He will
prepare
grab
for
your
this one.
hand.
What?
Save your magic. We may still need it tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
She just smiles and shakes her head.
The goblin atop the sled, the taller one, is kind of scratching her cheek as she watches all of this. And without coming down, she kind of places her hands on her knees to lean over.
Isobai.
Pardon?
Yes, Isobai?
I am Isobai.
Oh.
Oh, your name is Isobai.
Yes. We go now. You...
And she kind of waves towards the sled full of ingots with a very disgusted sound.
Mm-hmm.
We go home. Karkolok.
Karkolok. Is that what your home is called?
And she nods.
Well, I wish I could say it was a pleasure doing business with you, but this wasn't any good for anybody today.
I tell Chief Yarbnock of you.
That might be bad.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're not too critical. And I think Rian will start moving his way back towards our cart again, too.
And as you start moving back towards the rear sled, Miri falls into step beside you, sort of bounding in the snow. If you've ever seen a cat in the snow, where they just kind of have to, leap from spot to spot instead of walking through it, that is about what she's got going on.
Following my boot prints.
Yeah.
Happening. Well, this is going to be a pain in the ass moving this thing back, but we'll have to manage.
Looking at it now that the fight's over, you could see that some of the furs that are covering it, or the tarp tapping it down, has torn away in the fighting. You could see the stacked ingots underneath, bound very tightly in leather to this sled. There's a lot of iron. You're probably looking at an estimate 300 pounds in ingots alone. 600 pounds in ingots, and the sled itself another 300. It's a 900-pound load. You guys are going to be traveling for a while back with this.
Well, we don't have much choice.
It was pulled by 6 goblins, and Krellick's probably worth 3 of them by himself.
Yeah.
I'm worth...
We could try other bear.
No. No. We've had enough of bears.
As I say, unless you can guarantee that bear doesn't go mad again and just attack us.
She hems and haws.
Bear not listen to goblin.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
You're very much getting the vibe that the bears were probably unwillingly put in the harnesses, and the only reason they have not mauled the goblins is because they can't reach them.
While everyone is thinking, you said the pieces of metal were from Dreamer's armor?
Yeah, like his chest piece.
Uh-huh.
So they're an object rather than part of his body.
Right.
Whoa.
Parts of it. Bears have very big claws.
Tavini's gonna step over to Dreamer.
Could I, try something?
Sure.
She looks up. She's like,
Crouch down?
Slav squat down.
Gigantic. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Tavini will spend just a minute or two doing a little prayer to the Father of the Forge and mending the armor with her mending spell.
Alrighty. So it is very strange because as you were kind of taking these little shreds of Dreamer and armor and placing them upon him and, saying your prayer to the Father of the Forge, the pieces are knitting back onto his armor. But Dreamer, you can feel, and Tavini, you can feel under your thumb that the pieces that return, it really only just seems to be a very thin covering, and that there are still gaps in his body that need to knit themselves over time as he self-repairs. Cosmetically, he starts to look fine under the mending spell.
That's, it will stop pieces from being, lost.
So what I will allow is, a Dreamer can be stabilized with the use of the mending spell.
Oh.
That's helpful.
Dreamer gets all the breaks.
After getting mauled by a polar bear.
I mean, it takes
He's
a minute
so
to
lucky.
cast. It takes a minute to cast mending, so it's not going to be used in combat, so...